Let's talk Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. If you want to win, you need the best training in the world. That's where Atos BJJ On Demand comes in. You know Andre Galvão, 6-time ADCC champion, 6-time IBJJF world champ, and his team, monsters. Kay Rutolo, who got the $1 million win at CGI. Kaynan Duarte, ADCC double gold. Even Andre's daughter, Sarah Galvão, is out here wrecking black belts. She's only got a brown. Atos BJJ On Demand. It is the online version of Andre Galvão's academy. You can find over 13,000 hours of structured lessons. And I'm talking about deep dives into positions, drills that you can apply immediately. And it doesn't matter whether you're a beginner or you're advanced. This is the system that builds champions. And guess what? It's open to you no matter where you train. Normally an annual subscription is going to run you $249.99. But because I like you, use the code Chael60 and get it for just $99.99. I'm offering you 60% off for full access to the best video library in the game. Atos BJJ On Demand. This is for grapplers that win. Don't miss out. Just click on the link below. All toe injuries are not the same, guys. Now let's do a real fair comparative analysis of Conor's toe injury versus Belal's toe injury. So, and you must understand, I don't think Conor pulled out of a fight because of a toe. But moreover, my contention is that Conor never attempted to make you think he pulled out of a fight over a toe. My contention is that Conor and the pinky toe, which may or may not belong to him. Are you guys aware of that? I mean, this is like when a guy goes and does the great big gambling spoof, and like this is the new piece of marketing in gambling. My partners, DraftKings, and I have never done it because we're not dorks. But this is the great move of all gambling companies to take somebody with a level of fame and have them make a claim to a bet that they have placed. The one thing that all of them have in common is when they do the picture, when they take the picture of the ticket that they then put on social media, they never take a picture of themselves holding the ticket that they put on social media. Whether they win or lose, they've got the winning ticket, but it's just a ticket. It's not them with the ticket at the pay window, right? It's one of these weird scams, but it keeps working. Even in its uncreativeness, even in the redundantness of it, it keeps on working. Now, the reason I tell you that is one of the first that I remember where guys started putting their medical reports on the internet was the golden boy Oscar De La Hoya when he pulled out of a fight with Vitor Belfort. Oscar made a video while he was in bed, in the nightgown, in the hospital gown, letting us all know that this excuse, I'm playing this all the way through hard, look, I'm even here, and it was one of the first times where guys started putting their injuries out there. I couldn't imagine doing that. If I had an ailment, I couldn't imagine bringing that to you guys. If I was dealing one with right now, I would hide it. Because I have pride. Because you look at me as Superman, and you're right to do so, and I would never give you any evidence to the contrary. But it's a new thing, much like with gambling, to make a claim, don't prove its worth, and put it out there. So I maintain when Conor McGregor submitted a picture of a discolored pinky toe, but did not show himself, did not show that the toe was attached to his body, I think Conor was just fooling around. I think Conor meant it to be fooling around. He had pulled out of the fight. The real reason he didn't want to disclose, he wanted to keep that private. So he came out in a troll fashion and dangled that. Our media is so scared of Conor that they went along with it instead of calling it out. Thus, they've missed the entire joke. But we are supposed to believe that a man in Conor McGregor who conducted an interview with his leg shattered was not tough enough to make a walk after a toe became discolored, even though that walk was at a weight class easy to make and was scheduled for the better part of a month away. All right. And then you have Belal. Now, Belal has a staph infection that has gone all the way to his toes. Staph infections are not created the same. And You might hear me go on and on about staph infections, but as a guy that grew up in wrestling rooms, we just saw so many of these. All the way to living through MRSA. All the way to my own teammate Ryan Jenny being hospitalized and they wanted to amputate his arm. He had to get a second opinion, which is the only reason they ended up not amputating his arm. Like, I do feel that I, more than the average man, have had experiences and understand staph. So when you have it, go all the way to your toe like Belal did, and Belal still wants to go to the fight. He never pulled out of the fight. I don't know that I believe that he ever would have pulled out of the fight. They put a pick in so that they can get easy access to give IVs. Well, now you can't get through a commission. You have no choice but to pull out of the fight. And it would just seem as though Belal's pinky toe and Conor's pinky toe are not at all created the same. One is discolored. We were never told if it was broken or even alleged to be broken. I'm back on Conor's. We're never told if there was a fracture. I believe the reason we weren't told is because Conor was so clearly trolling and the media gobbled it up so fast without pushing back. Like, I think next step number 2, which I'm sure Conor already had prepared on his phone and all he had to do was hit send, is for when the media says, is it broken? They didn't say anything. They gobbled it up. They'd take it refunds and go find Pierre and see what Prohaska's up to and get him in here in his international fight weekend and what the hell. The one guy that we can always count on that's never pulled out has pulled out, and he pulled out because of a discolored pinky toe, which he never disclosed if it was broken or not, or even if it was his, because the media didn't get the joke. That's what I think. But it's still what we're left with. And then you have Belal that doesn't want to pull out of the fight. And he's got staph all the way into the bone, all the way into the toe. This is very, very dangerous stuff. Very potentially dangerous stuff. And he wants to go through with the fight. He wants to have the fight anyway. He can't move. He's got a pick. He can't move or have any physical activity for right now what's described as 6 weeks. Now, that's before you find out if they're right. How do you feel when you do get that activity? Oh, and by the way, how long does it take you to get back into shape, let alone championship shape? I mean, there's a lot of things on it where Belal still didn't want to pull out. And it would just seem, in the analysis of Conor's mystery toe versus Belal's actual toe, Conor's posting of a picture of a toe that may or may not be broken and may or not be his versus Belal Muhammad putting out a video. Do you see the difference? I mean, it's a very difference in a famous person placing a wager versus a famous person being sent a few dollars in Bitcoin to claim that they placed a wager. The ticket you claim is yours has you in the photograph with the ticket, or it doesn't. The toe, which you claim is yours, has a picture of you with the toe, or it doesn't. So when you measure up in the tail of the tape, Belal's toe versus Conor's toe, you start to see that all toes are not created the same.